What's good? You rocking with your boy TheCzarr, all rights reserved. Coming to you with another one from the cockpit, flying through. You already know how we rock. Now, I'm trying to figure out some more information regarding other things. And when I say that, it's details and evidence surrounding some of the things I now know. Not that they're not true, but to kind of validate my thoughts on some other theories and things that could have been going on. So thank you for rocking with me. Now that we know that there are investigators that were arrested, who wrote the police report? Is it possible that this report we were delivered was fictitious? That it was not true in nature to what actually went on to cover up certain issues and what the real goings on were? Now we're talking about a black neoprene mask that could have actually have been read. We're talking about witnesses on the outside that could have validated that there were suspects, but they could have escaped out the side gate and back gate. And if that's the true nature of how they got away, does that implicate an individual working at Riva Motorsports? Is this something that can be now credible? Because now we know that evidence presented could not have been true in nature. There's so many questionable things, and when this comes up into a court case, prosecution has a hard time trying to validate their structure of how they want to prove guilt. This is a situation that's normally vented. This is why I said it can either be smart Michael Boatwright took the insanity plea or tried to, or not. Now that he's in this position and all the evidence is unrolling this way, he now has a light at the end of the tunnel. And when I say that, I mean now he can get with a certified lawyer, revamp his approach, and make it more refined to which he can fight back now. There's too much going on for it to not be possible. He has a lot going in his favor right now, and I really think that investigators that were involved, that it's a very good thing Broward County stepped up and held them responsible. And if none of these people are indicted, these investigators should definitely be indicted for having played with the law from the inside instead of playing the game like a criminal plays it from the outside, taking chances. There was no chances to take on their end. They were literally playing off the information they knew to be true on the inside to deliver and structure things in a way where it ended up getting them suspended. Do you allege that they were involved somehow even deeper? Maybe in the means of making sure he was deceased, or making sure that the issues did not work out in Tentacion's favor? And I like the way one commenter put it. Dang, he was public enemy. You know, not quote, but paraphrasing what they said. It really does seem so. If you're telling me investigators were involved somehow or messed up and was suspended because they messed up blatantly, this leads us to believe that he was seriously a case of someone's target. Now, this making him a targeted figure opens up a new route and new door for us of suspicion for suspects, and even for a nature of trying to understand and justify evidence that was presented to us. We now know that there's too many questionable factors to, without a shadow of a doubt, press blame on left or right when all the evidence should have been straightforward. And if they did tamper with evidence in some way, as alleged to me, then it's really going to get bad for them, because now they have to go to the same place they sent so many other criminals, maybe even some unjustly. And that's the danger of trying to be law and work your way around the law. You get a lot of passes and different things because you interact with most people all the time, when honestly some of the folk that you claim to be sworn criminals aren't as bad as you. Literally being an investigator or a part of law and using the law in your favor to break the law there's no, let's say, more morose individual that you can be. You can't get no more morose than that, because you use the law to your advantage to be what it is that you indict and literally point fingers at others for being. Same thing with individuals who arrest people for doing some of the things they do behind closed doors. None of it's right, and all of it comes to light at some point where you pay the price. even if you never pay the price while you're alive, you always pay the price in the end. That's what, again, as I repeat this, most people don't get. And that's my thing. And nothing's going to go right in your life. When you think everything's good, it's going to be going left because you abuse someone else's well-being for your own to stay afloat. This is such a normal occurrence that has yet to come to light. Communication on the backside preemptively with individuals about case topics and different things that aren't their business. All of this stuff comes out. And that's what I like about this country is that even though there's people that abuse the law and try and work their way around the law, and even if they're not found out for the next 10 years or whatever, when your pension gets taken, you really truly learn what it meant to do what you did. That's why it's always important to stay calm and don't run and stay focused on what you're trying to do, because ultimately these individuals can never hide behind the shadows. And when they think someone's not talking or talking to someone else, it's going to come out and it gets relayed. The same way my connections allow me to reach further and dig deeper into the information, even though I may not be directly around it most times or it may not be public. They see that I'm doing a greater thing and they know my character. So regardless of what someone places on my head, it's about respect. These investigators lost their respect in their career/occupation, in their lives, and the credit they gave themselves as being wholesome people. You show your darker side. And that's the thing. Your darker side, you can try and hide it as much as you want. But when it's known, and once it's known behind the scenes, all there is one step between exposing the darker image and darker actions of some of these people we expect to protect and serve, and our purpose to help us become more successful people. This is all a game of the mind. It's all in their head that they're getting away with it. Ultimately, you face the price. You pay the cost, no matter what. And we're seeing that happen. Whoever would have thought these investigators would be caught doing what they're doing when we have bigger figures who are alleged suspects and affiliates of certain people who are acclaimed to be on the underground, be found doing underground things and making choices far worse than individuals who made these choices in the first place. At least they didn't play both sides. At least they kept it real and said, look, I'm this type of guy and I'm doing this, not tried to hide things, doing dirty work. Now, every case that they ever open gets reopened, and depending on how, let's say, demeaning of an outcome, it's all pressed against them in the end. So they face the brunt of each and every case where they shaded the law, no matter if a guilty verdict was handed. That's why I love our country, because in the end, the same people who play goody two-shoes get to face the music, but in a time where they don't have time to recover. And that's very important. All of the evil done and the communications and connections you use to shade others and destroy others' lives ends up dropping your life forever. And that's what's most important. When you pay that cost forever, there's no more coming back. There's no more feeling sorry or trying to justify it. That's why it's right to do the right thing, or to make that decision when you wake up the next day, to make the right decision to not put down others and not stand on the well-being and growth of others. That's my thing. And that's why I don't talk too much about it, because I know what outcomes come to people who do this. They think their connections are solid, but really your connections, when it comes down to their well-being and the fact they knew of it, they will get exposed for it. That's why this channel was created, for humanity, all rights reserved, and that's why I push it. Because the same ones condemning others for doing things are doing worse. That's why I made sure I rooted my knowledge in where I'm from, in knowing who authoritatively is doing wrong. And that's why I'm so calm with everything I do, because I know what's going to happen to them. And here's my thing. The worser of the two is that you oppress someone so long that the oppression gets deemed to you to pay for a lifetime. It doesn't matter if you pay while your eyes are open or if while your eyes are closed. It's best to do the right thing first up. And if we look at these investigators' lives, we'll probably see where a wrong turn of this nature, of them abetting in cases, the suspension is the least of their worries. Everything they did and everyone that they worked against to an unjust cause, Even if they find it just under some lawful means, you pay the price. You pay in the end. And it doesn't have to be before a judge. It can be out in public. It can be in your life. You're going to pay for it in the end. That's why it's best to do right by others and allow others to do right by you. If you haven't learned this yet, it is sad how you're going to learn it. And that's crazy. And it's not just these investigators. There's a lot of investigators, whether you believe it or not, doing wrong, and they think they're getting away with it. And they could stop tomorrow, but what you done's already done, and who you made these choices with is already made, and it's already public, whether you know it or not. You abuse the law to uphold the law. You get it the worst. That's why it's best to just be calm about situations you face and to just know what's going to happen to these individuals. You see, that's why we're flying. CommenterNation's flying, and they're flying with a purpose. We've always had our purpose aligned. It doesn't matter who you have on your side. Just know I have stronger on my side, more credible on my side, more powerful on my side. And they know who you are. No matter what you do to cover it, we see who it is. And that's my thing. Ultimately, these guys tried to play for the other side in the betterment of evils. Those same evils come back to bite you. You preyed on this young man's demise by covering up and doing different things. And now it's going to come around. And if you have kids, people are going to prey on your kids. If you have a wonderful marriage, it's going to prey on your marriage. If you have, it doesn't matter if you're living out in the boonies or if you're in the city. Judgment reaches all. It's sad you had to make this choice and now you got to pay for it. But you know how we rock. All rights reserved.